The topic of globalization and its literature continues to be multidisciplinary, originating from wide array of disciplines. Discussions and debates that aim at globalization are truly global, diverse, and multifaceted. In 2025, the US-China rivalry and tariffs continue to dominate geopolitics and world trade. The world population has surpassed 8.2 billion people in over 195 countries, and the global economy's gross domestic product reached $111 trillion. These are big numbers. The United States' $29 trillion economy and GDP is the largest with diverse industries, regions, and markets. A search on Google Ngram Viewer as well as on Google Trends reveals that the topic of globalization and its subfields are inherently popular, attracting researchers, practitioners, and the public. Google Scholar alone in 2025 cites over 22,000 studies about globalization from multiple disciplines. Gillian Tett of Financial Times observes, globalization is not dead, it has just changed global trade in goods and services and remains very strong. HSBC's chairman in Financial Times states the world is witnessing a period of deep and profound changes. Geopolitics and geoeconomic tussles lead to uncertainty and new economic blocks. Muhammad Al-Arian, a finance expert, notes cracks in the Western-dominated global architecture is visible. Liberal and international order is having issues. Martin Wolf of Financial Times is equally concerned about the weakened Western alliance and rule-based international order. BlackRock's Larry Fink cautions about rising debt and fragile economies in emerging markets and developing countries. McKinsey, a famous consulting group, they recently published a survey, and that is, world trade is changing fast. In the coming years, out of 50 trade corridors, 16 may have significant activities, mostly in electronics, textiles, and machinery. Other observers and media analysts believe that the role of the United States is important because of US treasuries are critical. And geopolitics and geoeconomics and grand strategies are making their mark in the world business as well. In globalization and related areas, there were many new titles published that accurately covered the topic, such as Goodbye Globalization, written by Elizabeth Braw, Johann Norberg's Peak Human, What Can We Learn from History's Greatest Civilization is equally useful. The Fractured Age is a timely title by Neil Sharing. Kenneth Rogoff's Our Dollar, Your Problem is a good value added to the literature. In King Dollar, Paul Blustein supports this thesis. Capitalism and Its Critics is a well-acclaimed book by John Cassidy, and Oxford's Handbook of Geoeconomics and Economic Statecraft is equally valuable. Today's globalization and its diverse topics include silicon supply chains, large multinational corporations, new digital models, ambiguous intangible assets, regulatory barriers, and knowledge spillovers are popular. Additional topics may include shadow export platforms, zero-sum games, clash of ideologies, trade conflicts, consumer convergence, and grand strategy tussles that equally make their mark. Joseph Nye's soft power and competitive coexistence thesis is relevant here. Joseph Stiglitz's call to fix the developing world's massive debt also makes a good argument. In 2025, the Magnificent Seven market capitalization exceeded $20 trillion. This reflects corporate power, market dominance, and digital alliances. And of course, firms include Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Meta Platforms, Alphabet, Nvidia, and Tesla. More companies will join the group in future because of consumption and growth. No wonder, at the end of the day, we see uncertainty and unpredictability because of unilateral tariffs, haphazard strategies, and limited global cooperation. In short, interest in globalization is very much alive. Academic literature and world trade flows corroborate these trends. Of course, occasional trade disruptions, protectionism, and country specific hurdles in world business will be here to stay in the coming years.